Hey, it's Marilyn Price with the Mentor Project. We are about to embark on a journey. Why do I call it that? Because I've never told this story before, and I've never illustrated it before, and I never created before like this. So, this is for you to figure out that you can do this too. So, first, let me tell you a little bit about this story. It is pretty new to me. I'd never heard of it until I put a call out for favorite little golden book stories. And a friend of mine, my friend Nina Black, hi Nina, thanks, this is such a good story. So this was their favorite when she read it to her kids, and now she reads it to her grandkids, but she had lost it somewhere in the house when they moved. Couldn't find it. Can you imagine that happening? I can't. So first I want you to look at it. A couple of things of great interest. Initially, its price was 89 cents. Remember, if you don't remember, I'll recall your memories to this. Golden books cost 25 cents when they were first published in 1942, and they stayed that way through the early 50s. But this one was a copyright in 1981, and it cost a enormous fee of 89 cents. But Nina found it for 70 cents. So still quite a bargain, because if you tried to find it today, it costs way more than that because it's not being published anymore. So I'm going to use the copy she had put away. I have found a newer one, but I wanted you to see this because this is how much it was loved. The little golden classic binding is gone, and in its place duct tape has been invented. Yay! And we're going to use tape today in telling the story because it has a lot of intricacies in it. And I'm going to need a little help from my favorite equipment, which is scissors, tape, oh, and a stapler. And I just dropped Hiram's head. So I'll go get it in just a second so you can see what I did. Because I'm going to have to get up periodically and draw for you on here. So this is first what we're going to do. I'm going to find our story, which I did. I'm going to read it periodically, but mostly it is about the inventiveness of Hiram. But also, you should know that the author, or the purported author, because there's always a little bit of rumor about authors, was also the author of a book I bet you know, and one I've told for very many years, since almost the beginning of my career, and that is called The Little Engine That Could. And it may be that Mabel Watts, who is the author of this one, was also the finder, because many people believe that she found The Little Engine That Could and published it. So that's my promo. Now I want you to meet the way we're going to tell the story. So before we start, we're going to reach over to our workbench here. I have a workbench all over my studio, and I'm going to show you this piece of paper and how I made a flat piece of paper into a 3/4, and then introduce you to what is in the back of me, which is actually right now, the truth be told, it's Hiram's body. But Hiram needs a head, so here's what I'm going to do. I'll tell you exactly what I did. I took a piece of paper, I folded it in half, and then I cut out this scoop of ice cream with a cherry on the top, being careful not to cut the edge, the fold. And then, this is his ear, see? It could be a side of his head, but it's his ear. I'm going to cut a slit. That's his nose. Now he can breathe. And now we're going to cut another slit like that. Push these two together. And Hiram has a nose. So it's never a flat piece of paper. And you'll see also when I begin to tell you about Hiram and his beautiful red shirt, there's his head. Also makes really good masks if you want. I'd make a bigger one, of course, because otherwise. So now I'm going to reach down here into my lower floor studio, or actually where I dropped his head. I'd like to think that it flew there. So here's one I made for Hiram, upside, of course. But Hiram, if you recall from his book, has red hair and a hat. So I took another piece of paper and I made like cheerleader things. I guess they have a fancier name. And then I'm going to staple on Hiram's hair. Don't worry, it doesn't hurt him. But it does give him sort of that tousled look. Hiram is a farmer, and he works outside, and he does all the things, the hard things, the fun things, the things that Hiram likes to do things with his creatures. Now, Hiram wears a baseball cap the way you're supposed to wear a baseball cap, but so you can see it. That would mean that the peak is in the front to keep the sun out of your eyes, but I put it this way so that we could see. And of course, as you see now, I'm using the magic of the stapler. And right before your very face, what you have now is Hiram with his red hair and his baseball cap. What do you think? Should I give him a team? I probably should. So, of course, I have my marker here. Well, excuse me. Before a team, he needs to have eyes. I'm going to give him some dark eyes. And he has to have eyelashes. And I'm going to show you another secret I do with all my puppets. So that okay, I've drawn Hiram 2 eyes. See a little hole there? That makes you look like the glinty piece in your face eyeballs too. So we're going to do something. Oh wait, a team. I'm going to give him, he's going to be the MP team. Now that stands for actually 2 things. Mentor Project, which this program is brought to you by, and me, Marilyn Price. Who knew? We have the same. The staple has very cleverly become Hiram's mouth. Okay, I'm going to very carefully and with a great deal of faith put Hiram's head right here in the neck of his shirt. Okay? What you think? Love it? Should I bring it? You know what? I'm just going to bring the camera a little closer so you can see him better before I start telling the story. There it is. Gave you a little piece into my studio as well. Okay, here's Hiram from the top of his head to the bottom of his, I forgot his feet. All right, we're going to put the camera back. Okay, sorry, Hiram. Now, take my marker back. And, did you notice a new piece of furniture? A little red chair. Swivels. I'm going to not sit on it because I don't want to fall. Hiram, you lift your legs up. Thank you, sweetie. That's so nice of you, Hiram. He's going to have big old feet. And shoes. One there. That's a good one. You think I should tie the laces too? Okay, there we go. And how about here? Oh, that one wasn't so good. But it's good for now, don't you think? 2 shoes, 2 hands, 1 head. Now, some of you, I can tell, are beginning to worry that Hiram may not fare too well. So I'm just going to take this, and I am going to do a backwards piece of tape. Did you ever do that? Roll it up. And then, what I'm going to do, that just so we don't lose Hiram's head in the middle of the show, I'm going to take it up right there. And it'll help from the front. Oh, Hiram, you're looking good. So, this, ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, and even if your dog is watching, hello, is the way our story is going to go. I'm going to just turn our script so that we can see it really, really well. And then I'm going to put some tape up for us here. And this is how we tell the story that we've never told before, that has so many, ladies and gentlemen, idiosyncrasies. What does that mean? Matter of fact, whenever I use tape and I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to get it, I sometimes tape myself. I guess that's good, then I won't fall apart, right? Okay. So if you are ready with me, and I would certainly be ready with you, I'm going to move him a little bit closer so you can see him better. Oh, you got it, buddy. Do you find the chairs distracting? You know, I kind of like it. Emphasizes the red, but we'll put it this way for you. All right. Hiram had a beautiful red shirt. He wore it on weekdays and holidays. He wore it when he painted the fences. And when he rounded up the strays, he wore it to picnics and to parties. And he wore it when he twanged his guitar in the moonlight. It was a good, sturdy, sensible shirt. Every Monday and Thursday, Hiram washed his shirt in the kitchen sink and hung it on the line to dry. Then he carefully ironed out the wrinkles so it would be ready to wear the next day. One morning, Hiram was making pancakes for breakfast because he was feeling so fine and spry. He flipped one out of tremendously high. Suddenly he heard a rap. Oh no! And the beautiful red shirt had torn at the elbows. But there was no way to fix it because Hiram had work to do. As soon as he finished breakfast, Hiram went out to the barn and milked the cows and fed the chickens and watered and brushed the horses. And as he worked, his elbows kept poking out of the holes in his sleeves. I'll have to patch my shirt, Hiram said to himself, and he went to his room. Snip, snip, snip. Off came the cuffs. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, off comes the cuffs. And off they came. And what do you suppose he did? He put the cuffs on his elbows. They made excellent patches for Hiram's elbow. One on this side and one on the other side. Thank you, Hiram, for being so cooperative. Hiram put on his shirt and went out to feed the pigs, but without any cuffs. His elbows sleeves kept flopping around in all the worst way. He said, now I'll have to cut off my shirt tails and use them to make new cuffs, Hiram decided. So that's what he did. First one. And then the other. Hiram, so clever. And then he went about his business. Now he had nothing to tuck his shirt into his pants with, and his shirt kept flapping around the breeze, and he felt chilly around the middle. When Farmer Will saw Hiram, he laughed. He says, it looks like you've gotten yourself into quite a pickle. It wasn't very smart to use my shirt tails, said Hiram, to make new cuffs, and now I have to cut off the bottom of my jeans and use them for a tuck-in piece for my shirt. Oh, Hiram. And so that's exactly what Hiram did. He cut off the bottom of his jeans. First one leg, and then the other leg of his jeans, not his legs. And he put them on the bottom of his shirt so he could have room to tuck in his shirt into his pants. Hiram was feeling very creative, to say the very least. Now he had enough shirt to tuck into his pants, enough to protect his cuffs, and of course, his elbows were no longer flapping in the breeze. Hiram went back out, and then he went to feed the potato peels to the geese, and everything was fine until he walked into a patch of nettles. Ow! Said Hiram. So he cut off the bottom of his red nightshirt to make bottoms for his jeans. snip and snip. Oh, Hiram. There you go. Amazing, Hiram. Hiram was feeling incredibly creative again because he had solved his problem. Now he had bottoms for his jeans, cuffs for his shirt, patches for his elbow, and enough room in his shirt to tuck it in. So that night when he went to bed, wearing only his cut-off nightshirt, oh, poor Hiram, he could not sleep. He scratched under his wool blanket all night long. Oh, he said, I made a lot of trouble for myself. What do you think Hiram did? What would you do? Well, he got up in the morning. He said, maybe a good breakfast would clear the cobwebs from my brain. So he ate a pancake, and then he thought. Then he ate another, and then he ate 6 more, and he thought 6 times as hard. I made too much trouble for myself by taking a little here and a little there. So this is what Hiram did. Whew. He took the red flannel off of his jeans, put it back on his nightshirt, good job, Hiram. He took the red flannel, the blue, he took the cuffs off. Oh, this is what Hiram did. He took everything that he had put on and put it back where he belonged. So he took the bottom of the shirt that he had cut off so carefully, put it back on his pants. He took the cuffs back from his elbows and put them back onto his shirt so he would no longer have to itch and scratch. Oh, excuse me. And last but not least, he put the shirt back, tail of his shirt back on, so he could tuck his pants right back in. Whew. One more piece, Hiram, and I think you've got it. Now, Hiram is a good worker, so he's actually not using tape like we did on our shirt, but using stitches. Oh, Hiram, you look way better. And I think I'm going to borrow a little bit of this tape so Hiram's shirt doesn't fall apart, because Hiram had another brilliant idea. I think you're going to like this one a lot. Hiram decided that let me show you. Hiram took his now patched up shirt, this time, Hiram reached for something else. He reached for his piggy bank. And he went to the dry goods store to buy a brand new shirt. He looked at the pink shirts and the purple shirts. He looked at the plaid shirts, and he looked at the striped shirts. He looked at the beautiful flower shirt that really took his fancy. But finally, he decided to buy another red shirt, just like the old one. When Hiram got home, Farmer Will said, you know, I could put your old shirt on the scarecrow out in the field. Nothing doing. This shirt is an old friend, and I don't want to part with it. Besides, the old shirt will come in mighty handy someday when I have to patch up my new red shirt. Hiram, the farmer, used his head to make something that was special to him, keepable and wearable. And then Hiram was smart enough to know that sometimes you just got to move on, but not too far. In the words of Mabel Watts, I'm sure Hiram said to himself, I think I can, I think I can. and so can you. I thank you for coming today to watch this wonderful story, Hiram's Red Shirt, and I hope that you will make some characters of your own, folding a little bit of paper here and a little bit of paper there. Maybe you'll even make for yourself something I'm not particularly great at, but I often like to try. Maybe you'll make yourself out of one of these papers and put maybe a dream inside or a kiss for someone you love and just fly it right over to them with permission, of course. This is Marilyn Price on the Mentor Project, and you and I, and thanks to my friend Nina, I've just heard Hiram's Red Shirt, and that is all for now. As for me, I can't wait to read another. Take good care.